kind of wordy today. I kind of have things to talk about. Or maybe it's because for 2 months I was kind of quite low, and I'm getting out, I feel out of that low state, and I want to talk. So maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe it's just the summer. But I wanted to talk about this. Like, I mean, like, I don't want to repeat any of the content about attracting stuff to yourself or manifestation content. I think there is quite enough of that, and there are people who are much more proficient at this than me. I'm just on my journey, and I cannot claim that I've understood it fully and had a lot of success with it. I had some success, but I wouldn't say I've attracted like formidable things to myself. But I guess I want to talk about that thing that I've mentioned in one of the previous videos about wanting something in the mind, but your body is not aligned with you. Meaning, a lot of things I wanted in my life and I still want, I want them in the mind, and I can create a picture in my mind, and I can imagine it, but my body is not responding. Like, basically, if you divide the mind and the body, the head and the body like this, you are, how to explain? You know what, when you imagine something, for example, you want to go on a trip, let's say, and you imagine the sand and the beach, the sandy beach and the cool blue water and the waves and the upcoming storm and the palm trees and the pina coladas and your friends laughing and wearing a swimsuit and taking photographs and sunbathing. Like, you do a very vivid mental picture of what you want, and you even try to imagine yourself there already on the beach, looking at the ocean or at the sea, swimming and enjoying this, and you try to live in that state or to stay in that state for as long as you can. But you can feel that your body is just not responding. Like, your body is either there's no reaction, or you can feel, I can't explain how, but you just can feel that your body would rather stay where it is and not go anywhere. Like, your body would just like to be left the fuck alone. Just like to rest and to lie down and to read a book and to not go anywhere, to any island, to anywhere. Like, your something inside you is like, uh, you might imagine all those things, you might want all those things, but I'm not with you. Sorry. I don't want that. I'm not with you. And you try to get your body to feel it, but you can sense it's like a tug of war. Your body is tugging in this direction and your head is tugging in another direction. And I feel like for a lot of the things I really wanted and I really want, my body, specifically my heart, couldn't get on board with this. Meaning, like, I imagined a certain life I had for myself, a certain vision I had for myself, but the feeling, like, thinking and feeling are different things. If you're only thinking about what you want and how you want it is one thing, but if you're feeling, it's another. And it took me a long time, and I expect will take some time to actually feel how it would feel like, and to feel the response of the heart, and to feel the positive emotions, and to feel gratitude, and to feel something instead of fear. Because I think this is not related to writing at all, but and maybe a bit unusual, maybe not. But You can also see it in the videos, I think, and you can see it in myself, and I can see it in myself more and more, or rather less and less. But my body and my everything, but mostly my body, was so closed off and so fearful and so tired, and still is, but mostly so anesthetized by all the stuff that happened, that it is more like a function and less like a body. And if I want to feel the feeling, for example the heart, like up to a certain point recently, I feel like it was completely closed. I was only living in here and not living in here. And I was only living in here when I was writing, and it's pretty much the only space where I was in the heart. And I was wondering how to change that, because only recently have I felt anything. When I think about someone loving me, for example, I felt like a response. Or when I think of, I don't know, of being published, I can also feel something. Or being supported, being understood, being heard, being seen. I mean, it's been very hard for me to get a response from the body, to get a positive, sorry, response from the body. No, not the fear response or the closing off response or the shutting down response, because I feel like I always wanted a lot of things in the head, and I always disregarded what my body thought about it. If I was tired, I was still going to do that. If I was exhausted, I was still going to do that. If I was working too hard, I was still going to do that. Like, I had this bad habit of ignoring what my body was saying, was telling me. And I feel like this is the year when this came head to head, where my body against my mind really like they they really stood against each other, and I couldn't ignore anymore what my body was saying. I couldn't ignore it because the body kind of took over. Maybe it's the level of exhaustion I was in, maybe it's the burnout, maybe it's just the sheer amount of years that I was working so hard. Maybe it was something else, maybe it was the heartbreak, I don't know. But like, yeah, I can feel a lot of, in this year specifically, I can feel a lot of stuff coming out of the like heart and the throat chakras, and like a lot of pain there, and also a lot of feelings. And I've been slowly but surely trying to feel things I want in my body, because I realized that if I only think about them, if I only think and imagine what I want, but my body is still against it, it's not gonna happen. Because I'm because it's one step forward and one step back, one step forward and one step back. And this I feel is the issue. When I do a few steps forward towards my goal, sometimes my body is slowing me down, slowing me down, slowing me down. If I want, I don't know, to create a new love for myself, my body is like recoiling, you know, because all of the previous stuff is still not finished. I mean, it's finished, of course, but like my heart is still is still not fully on board with it, and I can still feel the resistance. And that's my main thing this year, because it's not like I can't do what needs to be done. It's not like I can't query, I can't edit, I can't rewrite, I can't work. Like all of this, of course, I can. But I can sense my body is slowing me down, and I can sense my body, not being fully on board. Because when I am in meditation or somewhere and I'm trying to feel certain things, I'm just trying to feel how it's going to be. I can sense that resistance, and even now I can sense it. And I can sense that fear, and I can sense how big it is, because I've been doing this work already for months and probably will continue doing it for months, and the fear is still there, and the resistance is still there. Like the big, big resistance towards the things I want. And I only recently noticed this thing, because I was wondering, why can't I attract certain things? Why can't I attract certain people? Why can't I attract, well, I can't attract, first of all, because I'm not happy. I've pronounced it and I was like, oh fuck. But yeah, because when you're not happy, it's hard. When you're exhausted, it's hard. When you're out of breath, figuratively and literally, it's hard. And I also cannot attract because my body is not fully on board. My body is not fully on board. I think that's why. And the good thing is you can always change it because this is all inside you. So this is all inside me. So I can change it. You can train it. You can make it believe it. You can slowly work with it. You can slowly make yourself believe that it's all good. You're safe. You're happy. You're free already. You can slowly work with your body to line it back to put it back into the same thing that your mind wants. But I can tell you, when your body wants one thing and your mind wants another, you're not gonna attract anything. Like your body is against. And I think it's a much deeper actually topic than I'm speaking right now because it is a topic when I think, do you know, when sometimes people say they want something but they just simply cannot make them happen. Like for example, the person says, I want a lot of money, and it looks like they have a lot of opportunities for it objectively, but they can't make it happen. Or the couple or the woman or someone says, I want a child, I want to be a mother, I want a child, or they want a child, but and there is no specific reason why, but it's not happening. And when I'm talking about the cases when there is no reason medically speaking, and they say they want a child, but it's just not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. I think this is a classic example of the same thing I'm talking about when you want something in your mind and you can imagine it in your mind and you can kind of visualize it and think about it and really want it. But something in you, in your body, is resisting. Something inside you is just resisting this, and your body is not on board. You can actually hear how my voice has changed because I feel like this is what's happening. I want something and I know what I want and I'm imagining it and I'm visualizing it and I'm trying to attract it into my life. But I can also sense that something in my body is still resisting. And as banal as it sounds, I do have more healing to do. I do have more work to do. And I do have more more work to do to get past, to eliminate that resistance, to get it out of me. And I do think it's very common when you want something but your body's like nope, nope, mm-mm. And it's hard because it's your own subconscious and your own thoughts, and it's you. It's you against you. Yeah, it's you against you. It's your body against you, like against your mind. And I feel it physically this year that it's not like my body is, you know, sick or whatever, but I can feel at times that I have big dreams and I have big goals, but my body is like, nope, 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 nope. But I'm making progress, especially in the heart center. I'm making progress. I'm finding, you know, the keys to it. I've begun feeling the stuff I want, and this is a huge win actually because it's quite recent. When you actually feel in your body what you want and not only in your mind, but it's hard when you like when it's not all aligned, when all your everything in you doesn't want the same thing, because this is a situation where you everything in you doesn't want the same thing. Like here you want one thing, here you want another thing, and or you don't want that thing that you want here. So yeah, it's harder than it actually looks. So we'll see. We'll see how that is, how that goes for me. But I feel like I'm making progress. Yeah, I feel like I'm making progress in the feelings department.